Okay, I'm going to show you my favorite wrapping style. It's just with a single long stretchy wrap, and we're going to position our baby in a round bowl just on the ground so it's nice and safe. He's going to be placed on his back. I need to make sure that he's got lots of support behind his head, and he's also going to have some support under his bottom using one of our towels. And I'm going to use this to cover it. So I'll position this in the bottom so it's nice and soft and he's comfortable. What I'm going to do is take these off. And we'll place them back in underneath his head to support it once we've got him in there. Okay, so with the wrap, the middle of the wrap underneath the shoulders at the back, now this wrapping style allows me to make sure he's nice and secure, which is what they like to be, but it also allows me to see his little hands and his feet at the same time. Big stretch. Okay, so I want to make sure that the wrap doesn't come down too low. It's just across the back of those shoulders. And I'm going to bring it across both arms, leaving those hands out. So bringing the first one across, I can place that underneath my bottom to keep it in place. Then the other side. Bringing that across as well. Now that his arms are nice and secure, I can bring his blanket out from underneath him. And he's not going to get that startle reflex. Okay, his nappy's undone, so I'm just going to bring that down between his legs as I fold his legs up, waiting for them to relax. There we go. So with the last side that I brought across those arms, what I'm going to do with it is bring it down around his lower back. Nice and firm, not too tight though. You can see my hands just resting gently across his shins and the top of his feet. And that wrap up underneath his back. Then I can bring half the wrap around his bottom and up over that foot. And now as I pull it up towards his head, I can use my body to keep his legs in place, and I can place that end in between my knees. Shh. Just wait for those feet to relax. So the idea is to try and get those feet nice and flat and high up towards his elbows. But you've got to pull those hips apart so you can get them to sit in nice and flat. There we go. Now with the other side, again, underneath the lower back. Coming down, whoops, around that bottom. Up around the feet and the bottom, and then pulling up nice and high. So if it's nice and long, you can tie it off and use it as a bit of a feature, but because it's a bit short, we're just going to tie it at the base of his head here. Just going to bring that up a little higher. There we go. Bring it around one side. And tie it off. So once I've got him in the prop securely, that's when I'll start to position his little hands and feet. So keeping his head up nice and high. Now I can start to position the wrap around him. Tucking those feet in so we can see everything. Excuse you. So the little towel that I've got underneath, what I can do is curl that over so that it becomes a nice support just at the base of his bottom there and his lower back. Same on this side, curling that up underneath. So we can't move from side to side. Okay. Bringing those hands down. Okay, so I'm just going to leave my hand there while his little feet relax. There we go. So I can feel his little feet just curling back up underneath my hand. So I'm just going to wait for those to relax because I know that once I bring that hand away, he's going to react to that touch and his legs will come flying out again. So I'm just resting my hand there so I can feel his movements and waiting for his little legs to relax. So what I want to do is bring his head up a little bit. So I'm going to use my little stuffers here that can Velcro onto the support underneath, and it's going to lift his head up into position. So I'm going to leave my hand here on the back of his hands and feet. So we come up underneath. Just using that little pillow in there. There we go. And one at the back to bring his head forward just a bit. With these hands, I don't want them in front of the face, so I need them to stay over here as his face comes up towards that light. There we go. So looking for where that light is falling across his face, I'm just going to turn that prop. And I'm going to shoot down from here. So with his head and face closest to the camera, tilting my frame so his head is higher in the frame. I'm going to make sure that I can't see up his nose or his bottom isn't closer to the camera. And it's all about his little face. And then coming in and getting that close up. Beautiful. And that's how I like to do my favorite wrap, and I use that on my posing bag in lots of different props, and it's the easiest way, and you can see all of the little toes and fingers.